Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. Not your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support.
Welcome back for the Daily Wire. Capitol Police to open offices in California and Florida to investigate threats to members of Congress. Guys, I got to tell you, this scares the hell out of me. I'm a big fan of the Hunger Games. All the backstories. I just like the franchise, period. And also, I read the prequel book in the Hunger Games. And this smells. This stinks. Is it my paranoia? They're going to open up offices in California and Florida to go after the insurrectionists. This isn't good, folks. This is reminds me very much of the peacekeepers in the Hunger Games. Any of you that have seen the Hunger Games? I don't know. Let's read on. United States Capitol Police, they're the police that are in charge of the Capitol, released a letter on Tuesday morning announcing improvements the department has made since an unruly mob stormed the Capitol on January 6th. Here we go. Including plans to open up field offices in California and Florida to investigate threats to members of Congress. Now, I got to call bullshit. There's FBI offices all over the country, federal buildings all over the country. Why they got to start opening up new offices? This something stinks here. We will never forget USCP officers Brian Sicknick and Howie Liebengood, who died after the attack, nor the sacrifice of nearly 150 law enforcement officers who were injured. There's nobody seriously injured. In my understanding, Brian Sicknick, rest his soul, I feel bad for his family, had a stroke the day after or 2 days after. Howie Liebengood, I'm not sure of that gentleman's cause of death. But I do have to say, though, there was one death caused by gunshot, and that was the Air Force veteran, the young lady that loved Donald Trump and just made an incredibly stupid mistake. And a Capitol Police officer pulled the trigger as they were storming through the door. Now, do I blame that Capitol Police officer? Actually, no, I don't. It's one of those things, the adrenaline's pumping. Things are happening quick, and bad things happen. And she happened to be exactly the wrong place at exactly the wrong time. But the weird part is they won't release the name of the Capitol Police officer that pulled the trigger. I think it's only fair. I think her husband, the Air Force veteran's husband, was on TV saying, this is nonsense. I have a right to know who it was. And he's right. Think for a minute that if some 15-car police chase and gunfires was exchanged with the criminal, and it was shot, and come to find out it was a 16-year-old black male dead. But the local police department's not going to divulge the name of the person, ever. It'd be a crap storm. Throughout the last 6 months, the United States Capitol Police have been working around the clock with our congressional stakeholders to support our officers, enhance security around the Capitol complex, and pivot towards an intelligence-based protective agency. Oh, boy. USCP officials said they have no information that the crowd that descended on the Capitol on January 6th would turn violent. I'm not so sure on that. Some of those videos where the cops just pull away from the barriers and open the doors and let people in, I'm not an Alex Jones type conspiracy guy, but Jesus, boy, it looks awful bad. However, Capitol Police were quickly overwhelmed by roughly 800 people. I don't know if it was that many. We'll say it's 800. Who forced their way to the facility as Congress was in the process of certifying the 2020 election results, temporarily disrupting the procedure. The melee resulted in 5 deaths, several injuries, and approximately $1.5 million in damage to the Capitol building. This is where I'm going to call the Daily Wire. I love the Daily Wire. I love Ben Shapiro. I love all the people in the Daily Wire. Michael Knowles, the whole group, they're great. 5 deaths. 3 of them I know were natural causes. 2 of the guys outside, I believe one had a heart attack, one had a stroke that was non-law enforcement. This Officer Sicknick, that 2 days, I believe 2 days after the riot, died of a stroke. And the other gentleman, I don't know the status, so I can't say. But only one was shot. And I'm really, really, really disappointed. Ben Shapiro says this all the time. 5 deaths. If this was a CNN headline or a Washington Post, Ben would be all over this. Well, one of the deaths was one of the rioters that was shot by a police officer and used deadly force for no reason. No, I'm disappointed. I'll still keep my subscription to the Daily Wire, but I'm disappointed. The government has brought charges against more than 530 individuals who allegedly participated in the attack. Yeah, they walked through the door. Good Lord. Threats against federal legislators are reportedly on the rise. According to the Capitol Police, threats have doubled in 2021 compared to this time last year. But here's the interesting part. Where's the numbers? Say there were 20 last year, and now there's 40. It's not a lot more, but it's double. See, this is lazy reporting. I'm sorry it is, and I don't know the reporter. According to NPR, getting all the information third hand. I'm sorry. In March, Pickman said most of the increased threats are from people who reside outside of D.C. No shit, because 99.999% of the country is outside of D.C. The new field offices are promoted as part of an enhanced member protection strategy. This doesn't look good, folks. I got a bad feeling about this. Was that the line from Star Wars there? I got a bad feeling about this. There's FBI offices and federal buildings all over the country. To start opening up enhanced member protection, Capitol Police offices, it's not in this country. This is something like you'd see in Eastern Europe or in third world countries or dictatorships. This reminds me of the Hunger Games. I'm not going to pull back. I'm not. Strategy that improves lawmakers' security outside the national capital region. The department plans to establish additional regional offices in the future, Pittman indicated in the letter. Now, they got click for more details from Los Angeles Times. I'm sorry, this is lazy reporting. I really am. And you can read that part there. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Yeah, the internal watchdog reports are not publicly available. How convenient. CNN reporter, there you go. This is lazy reporting. I'm sorry it is. That morale remains low among Capitol Police officers say they were stuck working long hours amid dwindling ranks. Union leaders told the outlet that more than 75 officers had left the department since the January 6th breach at a rate of about 3 a week. Of course morale is low. They were overcome by non-armed rioters. Non-armed rioters. I think the biggest weapon they brought is one guy brought a crowbar, I think. Those police officers were armed with guns. I believe it was a rifle or a long gun that killed the Air Force veteran. She was just coming through the window. I mean, there's the videos out there if you want to see it. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And the weird part is, I believe it was a BLM guy that was there that recorded it. How come his ass isn't in jail? And that's the other thing. All the riots of last year, all the billions of dollars in destruction, lives ruined, 5 people dead. There's 10, 15 times that in the rioting that went on last year. Where's the offices? Where's the FBI offices that go after that? You say, well, it isn't our jurisdiction. Bullshit. Bullshit. This whole thing stinks. And I don't know what to make of it. And as usual, I think the vast majority of the American people, they say, well, it's no big deal. This is the frog in the water, folks. The old frog in the water story where you put a frog in the water and slowly the heat turns up. And the frog gets used to it. You turn up a little bit more and the frog gets used to it. You turn up a little bit more and it gets used to it. And then the frog is dead. Slowly you get used to it until it's too late. Now I'm going to go on a rant here. For those of you who don't like my rants, you can either keep listening or move on. I think this is incredibly dangerous. I think that this is very, very, very much like the Hunger Games. I'm sorry, it is. I don't like the idea. It makes me nervous. There's no reporting. You can't see the reports, as they said. They're all secret. A secret police agency that's nationalized around the country. You thought the FISA courts were bad? This is bad. Bad, bad. And here's the thing. Where are the spineless Republicans in Congress and in the Senate? Where is their outcry at the federal overreach? There's FBI field offices all over the country. They can use those to go after these so-called insurgents. Of all the issues we have that are dangerous to this country, the fentanyl abuses and the overdoses by the tens of thousands, oxycodone, domestic abuse killing thousands of people, gun violence. Look at Chicago and all the major cities run by Democrats. Thousands of people dying all the time. Hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants crossing the border and infiltrating our country. God knows who they are and where they're from. Those are real threats. And then on top of that, we have China, who's now buying up land all over the place. They just bought a bunch of land around a Texas Air Force base to put up a wind farm. Yeah, give me a break. It's a huge Air Force base. We have them now in the Confucius Society, all the different colleges have infiltrated academia, have infiltrated the engineering departments all over the country. That's the real threat. But what does our president, President Biden, and our Attorney General say? The biggest threat, domestic threat, to the United States is white supremacists and insurgents. Folks, we're getting hoodwinked. I'm not saying that white nationalists don't exist in this country. Of course they do. There's asshats on both sides. I don't like them either. I don't like racists, period. But the vast majority of the progressive Democrats are out, just come right out and say they're racist. At least the white supremacists and those asshats, at least they're tiny, tiny, tiny percent. Easy to round up, Jesus. But you can't round up millions of Democrats, though, can you? And where is the field offices to investigate all the billions of dollars in destruction? Where is the investigation that our current vice president went on live television to promote the rioting and put forward a website so people can give money to bail them out? Where's the investigation for the hundreds and hundreds of district attorneys that won't charge these rioters? They're not mostly peaceful protesters. Give me a break. And where's the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Antifa members? A handful's been arrested. Big deal. Where's the commission and the offices for that? know what you get? Here's the response considering the threats to the United States that happened all last year. Crickets. Because it doesn't fill a political agenda. This is dangerous, folks. I know I sound paranoid, and I know I sound like an Alex Jones conspiracy theory type. I'm not. This is not a good idea. And we're going to see if the old neocon Republicans grow a set of balls. I'll tell you the truth. Who's got more balls in the U.S. Congress right now are the newly elected Republican women. Pretty embarrassing, guys. That little bitty woman, I believe her name is Boebert. She's from out west, Colorado, I believe. 110 pounds of nothing, has got more balls and more spine than people that have been in Congress on the Republican side for years. Our supposed leaders. Guys, this is not a good idea. For those of you that haven't read or know anything about it, just do some rough investigating here on YouTube, considering the history of Pan Am. That's the country in the Hunger Games. And how the peacekeepers, it's an oxymoron expression because they don't keep the peace. They enforce the totalitarian state in the Hunger Games. Am I saying that this is it? No, but it looks really bad. Capitol Police offices opening up around the country. If they can't, your reports can't be seen. Who are they accountable to? Nancy Pelosi? Jesus, you got to be kidding me. This is a dangerous road to walk down. And we should tread very, very carefully. Those of you out there, I don't care what party you're from. I don't care if you're in a deep blue state or a deep red state. Call your Congress member. And if your Congress member won't listen, call other Congress members. They're easy to look up on the internet and say, this is not a good idea. We have trained investigators. We have the FBI. We have even ATF. We can use those guys as well. If they really want to go after these so-called insurgents, then let them do that. I guess that's technically their job. But this, it could be a huge, huge mistake. And until next time, folks, goodbye and good luck.